341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network.
New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
This is Congressman Cedric Richmond, and you're watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Joe Lapinto, and you are watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
Well, hello everyone. Notice I didn't say good morning. We have had a substantial drop in temperature from like 80 to 40 this morning, and tomorrow even colder. And us old folk just can't get warm, so that's why I'm not in my normal gear. I got 3 shirts on. Can you believe how idiotic that is? But anyway, we certainly are anxious about doing the show. Hopefully it will warm up with that. Hopefully wherever you are, the temperature and the climate is okay. Even though I know friends up north have a lot of snow, and our friends that we're talking with today out west have those horrendous fires. So everybody's got to deal with Mother Nature. There's no doubt about it. Well, you know, it's our regular second Wednesday of the month, which we call T4 for Talk to the Tarot. And you can see we have our lovely psychic in her crystal ball, because today she's going to be doing readings, not psychic stuff, but that's still psychic, but not contacting other folk beyond. And so we want to go ahead and welcome to the show Robin Denon, coming all the way from California. Good morning, Miss Robin.
Good morning, Bob.
And so we were talking earlier about the horrendous effects of the traditional fires, that these seem to be much more long-lasting and having such a really deplorable effect on the communities and, of course, unfortunately, the inhabitants. But fortunately, you seem to be safe. You're in the city and you're away from the area where any of the big woodlands are. So we're certainly pleased on that. Before we, as we told in our announcement to everyone on Facebook, we have a couple of callers reserved. First one should be calling in a few minutes for 8:15. We also have a slot at 8:45 that's filled. But we do have a gap. We had a cancellation at 8:30. So if anyone wants to call in today and have your tarot card read, we call it guerrilla tarotting, we'll be glad to, Robin will be glad, of course, to accommodate you. So again, that number is a very difficult number. We used to have an easy one, but, times change. So hopefully it's on the screen in front of you. I can't see it because of my eyes, but it's 563-999-1808, 1808, 563-999-1808. Now you'll speak to the lovely and talented Mike, who's our producer and technician. You will be required to give your first name and your age. He will send that to Robin. We will not post that, we will not post that on the air, but we do need your name, obviously, so you can speak directly to Robin. And at that point, she will ask you if you have a question. If you don't have a question, she'll get right into the reading. And if you think of one during the reading, of course, she'll give you time to answer that. So if you'd like to take advantage of that, that's fine. If not, we'll let those callers who've already made their reservations maybe have a few more minutes if we need to. If Robin needs to explain some more, or they have something particular else that they don't understand, and we'll give them a few extra times. But if you do call in anytime this morning, we will definitely try and get you in the 8:30 slot. Okay. Robin, what else can you tell us about this morning before we wait for our first caller?
Well, you want me to tell you my ghost story?
Yeah, let's do that, because I know you said you had a good one. We were going to do it in the middle time slot, but let's be optimistic and let's do that first while we're waiting for our first caller. Go ahead.
So I was out shoe shopping, And as I was out shoe shopping, I was sitting on the bench, and all of a sudden I turned my head, and a spirit showed up.
Wow.
So I went over, and it wouldn't stop. It wouldn't stop, and I knew it was a brother. So I went over and to the girls. I went over to the cash registers. I go, did one of your brothers die? And the one woman looked at me. She goes, did you see the spirit? And I said, yes. And she said, yeah, we know that there's a spirit. And she says, he knocks the shoes off the table. I said, is it over here? And I went over to the space, and she goes, yeah, that's exactly where it is. And so the one woman says that she didn't know anything, but the other woman says to me, yes, and I had said he died a violent death.
Oh,
and
wow.
The other woman said that, yes, there was a manager that had worked there, and her brother had been killed. So, so they knew that there was a spirit there. I knew there was a spirit there. I recognized where it was located.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a really, when sometimes they just show up and I have no control over it. I'm just sitting there happily trying on shoes. That's my ghost story for this month.
That is fascinating. I mean, really. I mean, like you say, because, everybody, when they talk about ghost stories, there's a big setup. It's like, anyway, it's all confined. There's like a formulaic or a storyline that's going to be very dramatic or tense-filled, stuff like that. Here you're talking about just all day to day, just trying on shoes. You can't even try on shoes without being interrupted, eh?
I know. And then just to be confirmed by these.
That is the part that really gives me a little hair bumps here because, once again, the affirmation is just, that's the part that leads to shock. Because, I mean, people can tell these stories all as long, but, without any type of feedback or evidence, most people dismiss the story, Right. But how could you hear when not only one but two people confirmed it, and one knowing a little bit more detail that you probably filled in more of the blanks for? So that is fantastic. That is fantastic. I don't know.
It was kind of fun because I always think, how do I know? And this spirit was so strong, and he wanted to be recognized.
Wow.
He wanted to be recognized that he was there. And because, like I said, I'm a portal, and when you're a portal, they'll come in,
right?
And you just don't know who's going to be there.
Right,
and
right.
He was very strong.
So to speak, an open door policy.
Yeah. Yes.
But it was
too much of an open door policy some days.
But it was good that he was a playful spirit, not necessarily a harmful spirit. That he was just making him work a little bit, calling attention to him. By knocking over shoes periodically or whatever. Without being harmful to any of the customers or themselves. Yeah, great. Do you ever? And I know I'm taxing you here, but the traditional fear of ghosts because of usually some type of horrific or I don't know what word experience and by the cover, not just the visuals, but they're doing harm to the humans. Have you ever experienced any malicious like type spirit?
No, because I usually only work with the higher vibrations. Those are usually lower vibrations type of spirits. I did some classes, and this woman was talking about when you get to a lower vibration spirit, what you do is send them love. You try to hug them so that they feel comfortable and they're ready to move up to a higher vibration.
Well,
but since I've been seeing them since I was 18 months. I'm used to them. They don't bother me.
I understand. But now for the layman like myself, when you say higher and lower vibration, can you give me a little bit more specific or a little more explanation of what that means?
So someone that is a lower vibration is going to be more mischievous. They may do things to try to scare people, whereas a higher vibration is going to be someone that's more angelic. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to be close. I want to say they're closer to God because I believe all spirits are close to God, but it's just they're outwardly what they do outwardly is more to help the people that are close to them.
But do you know, one last question on that, but do you know, like when some spirit like this gentleman coming in, do you know up front that it's like high vibration versus a low vibration? What alerts you to the fact that one of these vibrations are coming through? Not just it's a spirit, but the type of vibration.
So I don't get low vibration because I have my, remember my great grandmother has been with me my whole life.
So she's been
she
your
would never allow that. Yes.
She's been your protector.
Right, and what I will feel is like this young man that had been killed. What I do, I can feel the violence, and it's so like when he came in, it took my breath away because the violence had been so bad. So I will feel something like that, and I have a pretty good idea when someone has been killed, or if they had a heart attack, or they died of cancer. Those three, sometimes a stroke, but those are the three type of people who have passed. Some people go over very easily, but if someone has had a car accident,
right,
I can actually feel what they're going through when they pass.
So
if it was was an easy, or if it was a hard passing, if they have any residual on this earth.
So that violence feeling that you were getting from this gentleman before you're that wasn't confusing, that maybe this is a negative spirit or a low vibration coming in, as opposed to you could still be a high vibration with some kind of violence or something. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're mean-spirited. That's what you say?
Right, but he's mischievous to other people. But he wouldn't have been mischievous. He might have been mischievous with me, but usually they want to talk to someone. They want someone to know that they're. It's
present.
Just like the man that lived across from where I'm living. The person who had lived here before, a psychic had told her there was a spirit here. Well, and that she needed to leave. Well, when I came in and started talking to him. And when I started talking to him, he calmed down. So, it's, I do it naturally.
I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That's fascinating, see, because that part of it, nobody gets that side of the story, the backstory, whatever you want to call that. You just get the initial appearance. Okay, we're going to cut it short now because we do have our first caller, and his name is Sean. But I think our director is saying to go ahead and let's go ahead and do our first break, and as soon as we come back, we'll put Sean on the phone. Will that be okay, Robin?
Perfect.
Good. Okay, let's take our break, folks, and we'll be right back with our first caller.
Listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255. The New Orleans Talk Network.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson. And can you believe that it has been 1 year since Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions hit your airwaves? We have interviewed authors, entrepreneurs, playwrights, musicians, and everyone in between, all to bring you the best in literary conversation. And we plan to do it again this year, but only better. So join us right here in the Literary Lounge each Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. See you there.
We're back. Talk What You Know returns on Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m. We got a brand new co-host by the name of Bob B. And hey, that's me. Also, we got some new features. We're going to be giving away, have a weekly raffle of prizes. There are multiple ways for you to win, and there's a bevy of prizes. So we need you to come on back, join us on Wednesday mornings at 8 o'clock for Talk What You Know on the New Orleans Talk Network.
Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Now.
Well, welcome back to the strong strains of Donovan. You might remember that. I doubt it. Most of you are not that old. Anyway, we're speaking with our resident psychic, Robin Denon, and we have our first caller, a gentleman by the name of Sean. Sean, welcome to the show. Okay, I'm hoping we can get him on.
Good morning, Bob and Robin.
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you.
Good, very good. May I ask a curious question? You mentioned that you would be in Baltimore this morning. Is that where you reside, or are you just traveling there for some purpose?
Traveling here for
okay,
purpose.
great.
I
But
was
we're
born and raised here.
Okay. Well, we're glad that you're able to establish a connection. I want to introduce our psychic, Robin Denon, who you might not have seen the show, all the way in from California. And why don't we just start the conversation between you two? How about that?
That sounds great.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Robin.
Okay. I put down your cards, and first of all, I want to tell you that it looks like you're dealing with a lot of men. So I would say probably in your job or what you're doing that there's a lot of men coming into your life right now. So first of all, there is someone that I believe that you're working for them, and it may feel like they're not being generous right now. Well, you're right. However, what I will tell you, there is new money coming to you.
Ooh, boy.
So, we always like new money. So don't get discouraged. Stay really positive, and have faith. Be in faith, because that money is coming to you. You're going to have to work for it, which, we all have to work for getting money. But it's going to come easier than you thought. And there's maybe a little bit of, there's a level of it's unexpected that, you've worked for it. However, you were thinking that it's not coming that soon, and it will come sooner than you think. Also, the other part is your career is going to change a little bit. I'm not sure if you're working on that. And I believe it's going to enhance your life, meaning that it may be something that you're already doing or you're working towards. So that will be enhancing your life, and you're on the right track, okay? You're on the right path. The other thing is, do you have any children?
Yes.
Okay. A son?
Yes.
Okay. Are you finding yourself that he's a little bit difficult, or whatever he's going through is I would say there may be some sense from you that feeling kind of helpless, or there's things that you can't do for him because he's not open to it. Does he also have, I want to say, does he have some learning disabilities that go along with this?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
So he's only capable to do what has been done to help him. So there are some things that you can do to help him. You're going to have to be really patient. And I want to tell you right now, it's not his fault. So if you're feeling like some of his acting out or his behavior is his fault, it's a little bit more about him being frustrated, and that he's not, I don't want to say he's not getting the attention, but there are some, but how can I say that? There are I want to say social services, or I'm going to say therapies, not necessarily mental therapies, but other therapies that might help him. So you need to be open to that. It's not that you're not open to it. I just feel like that it hasn't been considered, and I want you to consider it.
Okay, can we, Sean, could we ask that you perhaps give us some feedback on that? Let's say the first part on the work or the life. Does any of that sound familiar to you, or is that off base, or what?
As far as the first part was pretty accurate
Oh, okay. Well, that's
in
all.
terms of career.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's
And,
good. I mean, all we're trying to do is so the audience will know that since you're not that we want you to emote, but this way the audience can see, because obviously we can't be 100% on everything, but at least if she's fairly correct in some of the symptoms or scenarios that she's bringing up. Like I was shocked when she was able to identify you having a son and maybe perhaps a problem. So does that sound, the stuff on your son, does that sound pretty informative, or stuff you already know, or where do we stay with that?
That's pretty close. But
Pretty
I'm
cool.
also wondering, does that include like a stepchild as well?
Ah,
Yeah, it can. If it's, I see him as a son, so if you taking on the role of a father, and even though he has another father, then this might also explain that you need to be more engaged with him instead of seeing him as a problem. What I see it's a fine line, because there is a level that he is capable of, but you need not to blame him, because there's some of it is kind of more in his head, meaning that there's some functions that don't work. It works differently than most people. He does need help. I'm going to tell you that he does need help, but it's more about life skills that he needs help with. So let's say it's anger, then you would have to get him into a situation where he could process his anger and make him more socially acceptable. Does that make sense? Do you understand?
Yeah, it's very
may
very
I
accurate.
may I ask? And I'm not trying to get too personal, but as a third party hearing some of these things, sometimes we get ideas. Are we talking about a stepson? Is there another male parent involved, and is there any possibility that might be problematic in the situation versus helpful?
Well, the child does have a great support system.
Oh,
But
okay.
what she's saying as far as the social in the mental, like, I don't want to say mental because
No.
just far as like how can you conditions.
So
As far as like the child is having social
Right.
dealing with autism.
Right, and that's what I feel like it's more in an emotional level where it is that there are some social issues. It's not like he doesn't, how can I say this? He has no control over a lot of the things that come up. But I believe that if he has, and like you said, he has a little support, but I think that you're looking in the wrong direction, that there is some other way to handle this, that he's going to have a better result, a better outcome. And I'm just letting you know that don't give up on this kid. He can get there. It's not going to look like most kids, but he can get better. He can have a more fulfilling life than what you think. I'm not going to say you personally, but what others think, and that he just needs some more guidance. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that
but you're on
certainly
the right
helped a lot.
track.
Now, Sean, is there any other specific question, or not necessarily about this topic, but any other topic, but it can be about this topic if you want to explore further. Is there anything else specifically you want to ask Robert to try and identify or help you with?
What about my past? Do you think that I will get over it, or will I grow from it?
Okay, so did you? So I do see that whatever you went through, it was really hard. It was like a death. So if that is the case, if it was a relationship, or if it was or if it was someone who personally passed on, you need to do some work on it. I would say to do some prayers on it. You know what I would tell people is to pray that the person gets everything that they want in their life, and it will soften your heart. If it is someone that has passed that you were very close to, has your father passed?
Both of my parents passed. Yes.
Okay, because your father is definitely coming in. So he, you know, that there is a sense that remember there are people who will support you through this. If you will get through it, yes, but you know, you're still dealing with the residual, and so it may take you a year or two. That doesn't mean it won't. You will have moments of clarity where it will be easier. You're not going to be where you're at right now forever. And I see happiness coming into your life. And what I mean by that is that there, you know, I do see you have moments of joy. And what you need to do is hold on to those moments. So is this regarding a woman?
Yes.
Okay. You know, what can I say? She wasn't right for you. Do you understand? She didn't care about knowing you. It was all about her. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
getting sensitive here, I can see.
She's going to carry those problems that she has. Don't take it personally, because this is more on her side than it was on your side. It looks to me that you tried to save her, but she didn't want to be saved. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Was this fairly recent, Sean, or is this you know, a distant situation?
It's fairly recent.
Oh.
It's a yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's connected to the past, but it's also
Yeah, because I know you said about your past, so I didn't know how far back we were going with this relationship situation. Okay, fine.
So this somehow accelerated about 6 months ago, didn't it?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. She's getting too precise now. It's getting scary.
Okay, you're going to carry the residual probably for the next year or two. Will you get over it? Yes. Will you still grieve about it? Yes. You'll have moments where someone is going to come into your life and they will remind you of her, and it will take you back because you weren't expecting it. I have this happen with my late husband sometimes. So what I see was really, it's kind of like now you're walking in the fog, but you're going to come out of the fog and then you're going to see the light. That was figuratively, but there will be this moment of being lifted up. Like I said, you need to pray for her that everything good comes into her life, and don't just stipulate what that is. You know, it's like if you want her to get sober, don't say that this is, you know, I want her to get sober, because maybe she doesn't want to get sober. The other thing is, remember that it's her choice, and she has her own path to go in this lifetime, and you can't dictate that for her. She needs to decide for herself. Okay.
Okay.
All
Will
right.
you contact me?
Sean, normally we would cut this off, but it doesn't look like we have another call until the 8:45. Do you want to ask I'll give you one more shot at it, which is unusual. If you want any other question, if not, if we're finished from both ends, then we'll go ahead and just talk while we wait for the other caller. Anything else you might want to know about?
Oh, just to go into that topic, do you think that the person will contact me, and will there be forgiveness or peace?
Which person is
Right
this?
now, we're not at peace.
It's the woman.
Oh,
It's
the
the
lady. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Be careful. She contacts you. She's going to want something. This isn't about wanting to get back with you or being friends. This is more about her, you know, she's kind of a taker.
Wow.
And because she's a taker and you're a giver, don't fall into her trap. I think it's going to be hard for you to resist her, in the sense that you think that you can help her. And you know, I understand that you were trying to save her. You understand that you really loved her, but she's not ready for that. And if she does contact you, which I think that if she contacts you, it's going to be a while. I don't think that that's going to happen right away. But there will always, every time she contacts you, it's because she wants something from you, and she will play with your heart. So keep it a little bit you can be cautious. You don't have to be totally against her or totally shut down from her, but be very cautious and look at it as, okay, what does she want now? What is it that she expects from me? What does she need from me? And it doesn't mean you don't have to give it to her. What it means is that you need to be aware, and as you walk through this, that you only give what you want to give. And there's nothing wrong giving her what she wants, just that don't put your heart in it unless you're ready to have it broken, basically, and going back and having to go through the same thing over again. I'm going to ask you, is there something legal going on with you right now in regard to this relationship or regard to work?
Oh, no. No, I'm
okay.
Staying out of trouble, knock on wood.
Very good.
But I
well, if you see something coming up that is going to be legal, or you're going to have to make a decision about, it's okay. Remember that it's okay, and that you'll move through this very quickly. So if there's something that comes up, like a contract that you have to sign, or if there's a legal thing you have to do, or anything that's dealt with, or if there's a class you need to take, go ahead and take it. It will be to your benefit.
All right, I think we're going to have to call it quits. One thing I would like, Sean, if you don't mind giving us a little feedback, and Robin Strong, to take it, what kind of a grade do you think she did for you this morning, or rating?
Oh, I give her an A+.
Well, that's phenomenal. And again, folks, we're not soliciting this just for audience. We are soliciting for the audience to show how valid that these things are. There's nothing, no one knows each other. Well, Rob and I have made acquaintance over the years, but I'm saying no one, this gentleman is calling just because he wanted a reservation, and I think Robin has done a bang-up job. Like I said, she scares me when she puts those specifics. Most of these people don't get so specific because they're so afraid of being caught, after the fact or during with a wrong answer. But Robin is all out there, and I think it just validates her sincerity and her abilities. Sean, thank you so much, and we appreciate you calling in all the way. You have a good week, the rest of it, okay?
Thank you, Bob, and thank you, Robin.
Good deal.
Have a great day.
All righty. Okay, Robin, you did great as usual. I'm really glad to hear it, huh? You spot on, son. You kind of almost did a 2-for-1 there, because you started to go and speaking to the gentleman's father, or feeling his presence anyway. So we almost were doing double duty here, which we usually don't require of you. We kind of specialize in one or the other. Why don't we do this? Because, we always have a second break, and rather than interrupt our second caller, why don't we go ahead and take our second break and then wait a few minutes for our next caller, and then we'll pick it up from there. That be all right?
Perfect.
Okay, thank you, Robin. Thank you, folks. We'll see you in a couple.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
Hi, I'm Prophetess Charlene Duforce.
And I'm Bishop Carol Duforce Sr.
And we're from Living Witnesses Ministries.
And we also have a program on the internet called Living by the Word Daily. And we're seen every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time on the New Orleans Talk Network.
And we would like to invite you to tune in with us every Wednesday morning. Again, 11 to 12 noon Central Daylight Time. Please join us as we teach the Word of God. Thank you, and God bless.
God bless you.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
All right, welcome back, folks. If you missed it, today is what is today? The 14th of November? Yeah, next week is Thanksgiving. As I've told you in the beginning, if you were here, I'm sorry. As I told you in the beginning, we have a cold spree in New Orleans. Went from 80 to 40, and going to be colder tomorrow. So it's not something I'm looking forward to. Even all these people say, "Oh, it's so good to be cold for the holidays." I don't care if it's 81. One Christmas we had 81. We were warmer than Hawaii, and I didn't mind it. Anyway, as long as that air conditioning works, and you're with your friends and your family and having good food. But we're doing our usual second Wednesday, which is T4, Talk to the Tarot. And for those lucky enough to tune into the first half, you saw how valuable these free services are for you. We don't want to think that Robin makes a living for free. She's just kind enough to give us this hour. So you're more than welcome, of course, to reach her directly, either to expand on anything you do on air, or just to have either private readings or join in some of her group meetings on psychics. So while we're waiting for the next caller, her website is Robin, and remember, she doesn't spell it like the bird, R-O-B-Y-N, and then the period, Dennen, D-E-N-N-E-N, at gmail.com. Is that right, Robin?
It's not a dot in between.
No dot.
So
I knew what I said was wrong. So it's just one word, R-O-B-Y-N-D-E-N-N-E-N, if you got all that at Gmail. And that way you can reach her directly, or you can go see our website under Robin Dennen, something like that. And
yes, robindennen.com.
.com, there you go. And that way you'll see some testimonials and all the different services she was and stuff like that. So it's great to develop a relationship. Most of Robin's clients are long-term. They develop such relationships, and that's how we met her, through one of her long-term clients who's a good friend of us all the way from Texas. And so we could give testimony that her services are certainly well received and usually spot on. So that's what's good, is that unfortunately she gave me some unpleasant news right before, and I've got to go face that because it's a personal crisis in my life, not necessarily affecting me, but affecting me externally. And we're going to see if that... There's one time I hope she's wrong. Anyway, let's not talk about that. Robin, anything else while we're waiting for... I think Debbie... we do have our second caller. We have a young lady by the name of Debbie calling in. Debbie, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, dear? Now, you're calling from D.C., is that right, or whereabouts?
Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee. I thought it was from the D.C., from the District of Columbia. Tennessee. What city is that, may we ask?
Greenfield.
Greenfield. Not familiar with it. Any bigger, larger town that we might recognize nearby?
Memphis.
No. Okay. All right. Yes. Good enough. Good enough. All right. We won't tax you with that. It's not our place. Anyway, we want to introduce you to, if you haven't met already, Robin Dennen, our psychic, and why don't we let you all start the conversation, okay?
Good morning,
Thank
Debbie.
you.
There we go.
Good morning, Robin.
Okay, I'm just going to go right at it. So it looks like that there was a man in your life there is a man in your life that's causing some grief. He's stirring up stuff right now for you, and with it has to do with a project that's coming up for you. And what you have is the Empress card, and the Empress card often represents a pregnancy, but when you think of a pregnancy, it's gestation. So you're probably looking at this as a long-term project, and he probably has his own agenda going right now. So he can be harsh, and you really have to think in your heart, if you want to have this harsh person in your life. What I would say to you, be prepared. And if you want to stay in this relationship or you want this person in your life, that you need to be prepared. It's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster. And it's going to be a roller coaster. So if you're expecting it to be smooth sailing, it's not going to be that way. Okay,
Debbie, excuse me a second. Debbie, is this, first of all, are we on target with this? And is this relationship or involvement new or long-standing?
No, it's not a relationship, but I believe I know what it's about.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
The other thing that I see, and yay, there is an opportunity for a new job. So if you're looking for something, this is the time to look. If you want to do something different, this is the time to be looking. You can move forward. There's an opportunity to move forward. So if you're, it's kind of like taking that leap of faith and going, okay, I can do this. And I think sometimes what you do is step back and go, I don't think I can do it, but you actually can. And I do feel like this is a position that you can raise up to. There's going to be a level of being able to, I can do this type attitude that you need to bring to you. Don't be afraid and don't think you can't do it, because you do have the wherefore, but not only that, you have the skill set to actually perform at a level that I don't think that you're ready. You think that you're not ready for, but you are. And there is an opening coming up. It may happen after the new year, maybe closer to February, but there is going to be an opportunity in January. So if there's something that you're thinking about, especially if it's in the organization you're already working in, go ahead and apply for that. Don't be afraid to apply for it. And you may think that you don't want to take the job, but I think you should, to be honest with you.
Now, Robin, is this new project you talked in the beginning, is this part and parcel of this new opportunity, or are we talking about separate items?
Well, it can run into both. So if this man, so let's say the man is really about a relationship at work, or a boss or something, that could run into finding a new job or being in a new position without him being involved with it.
Well, Debbie, how does this sound with you? Would it go impact on you? Does this have any familiarity at all?
No, not really. I'm retired.
Okay. Yeah. You should not, because I do see some struggles in your life right now. I do see you being out of sorts, and so with the out of sorts, it's like bringing yourself in and stop looking at the peripheral stuff that's going on in your life that you have no control, and coming back and having control in your life. And I don't, with the job situation, and this is really strong because you have the Magician. Not only do you have the Ace of Wands, which is usually jobs, but you also have the Magician, which is career. Now the Magician is reversed, so with the Magician being reversed, there is some work that you need to do that will make you feel more confident that you can go to the next level. The other thing is you have the Chariot. So this also represents movement, but it also to me represents it also represents a trip that will come up. I feel this is a little bit around work, and sometimes what this will be is like a conference. I also feel like there's it's coming to the holidays, but there are some family stuff that you're going to be going through too. Don't let it get at you, but I think you're going to have a really nice time with if you keep the right attitude, that you will have a nice time for the holidays. Just maintain your cool in some ways, because I feel like there's one person, I feel like it's a woman that starts to get at you. It's kind of like when you're a little kid and you're poking your finger and saying, I'm not touching you. I feel like there's a little bit of that type of relationship going on with this person. And you feel like she can be difficult, but I think that I think there's a level of jealousy that comes up with her. And I think that there's a part of her that wants to be like you because she only sees the parts. She doesn't see the struggle. She only sees the stuff that comes to you that she can't attain herself. So you really need to show compassion for her. And I know it's hard. I know it's really hard with this person because you think she's going at you. Well, that's not really the truth. This is more about she's not getting what she wants. And so that she doesn't want you to get what you want.
Debbie, is there any recognition of this? Let's see, we're not getting much feedback from you, so we don't know whether we're going down the wrong tree or what. What we got? Debbie?
I have to think about that because I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. All right. I understand. Well, again, if it hasn't happened or whatever, so that could be the case. But
this should happen during the holidays.
Yeah, she's alerting you to maybe be a little bit more attuned to not get so caught up in the festivities of the holidays to ignore something that might be, of some importance or significance to you. Anyway, all right, you want to continue, Robin? Anything else you're seeing?
Yeah, she's like I said, she's going through some struggles and challenges right now, and some of them are more in her. I'm going to say they're in her head, but there is going to be a decision that you have to make. It's not going to be an easy decision for you, and what I'm getting right now is that you need to make that difficult decision, and you're going to have to go the way you don't want to go. And you probably won't. And so you're going to sit in it for a little bit longer. But just remember, I'm telling you right now that if you make the decision, go the path that you know will be harder. There may be more grief to it. There may be more, I want to say feelings of inadequacy, but there is a component of that. So with that decision, there really needs to be, you need to take it seriously because who you are energetically, who you are soulfully is being a little bit stifled. And I really believe that's the other reason why you need to be looking at finding another job that is more fulfilling for you and where you're able to raise yourself up. And you can do it. I want you to know you can do it. And don't be afraid. And if you need to go back to school or if you need to do some certificate courses, do those kind of things because those will bring up your confidence. And there'll be a change, there'll be a energetic change or a confidence change, because this is really about a confidence for you right now. Whatever is going on is that someone, either your self-talk or someone who has said something to you that you're believing, and you shouldn't believe it because you're more than that. You understand?
Yes.
Okay. Debbie, do you have a specific question or questions for Robin? You don't have to. I'm just asking. No?
I have to go someplace legally tomorrow. Is that going to turn out in my favor?
Hold on for a minute. Is this what this is what all your efforts are right now, is thinking about what's happening with this?
Yes.
Okay. So it's very important.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So it's kind of a mixed bag. There are going to be parts that are okay. But again, there will be things that stand up for yourself. You need to tell your story, okay? Don't be afraid to do that. If there's anything that is something that you have to sign, I would put it on the back burner. Don't necessarily automatically take what they're offering you. I think that what you have to do is really do some research on it. Do you have a lawyer to go with you?
No, I'm going by myself.
Okay. That's the reason why I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily take the deal because you may need some you may need some advice.
Right.
And it may not be a lawyer, but I do believe that you need some advice. So do not, if you don't have to sign anything, don't sign it right away. You need to do some research, okay?
That's very good
Okay.
advice. Yeah, that's very good advice. Like I said, just to tell them you need to think about it or something, anything like that. You don't have to say you're getting a lawyer, but I think that kind of situation, I would certainly heed this warning here, because I think obviously Robin's feeling something that, that maybe you're not anticipating, or you may not be aware, but this will bring you more attuned at that moment, should they try and force you to do something right there on the spot, as opposed to giving you due process and due time.
Okay, so is there a judge involved with this?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Because someone, if it's a mediator or someone, is going to be on your side, so
Oh, that's good.
they're going to give you good advice.
Good.
I mean, even if you just walk out of the room, say, I have to go to the bathroom or something like that, just so that you can, breathe, take a breath, and then really think in your heart, is this going to benefit me? And if not, get some advice, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, we have just a moment more. Anything else, Debbie? If not, then we're going to close up the show in a little bit.
No, that's okay. Thank you.
Well, listen, Debbie, we really appreciate you calling in. We wish you the best of luck, and we hope Robin's on target, that she's giving you the right advice, so that when you head into something like that, it's always anxious, no matter what level of person we are, to do something like that. And it's always good to have some support, even if it's just mental support from us with regard to doing that. But I would definitely heed her advice.
Okay, I appreciate it.
And if you care to share back with us maybe some of these results without giving details, we'd love to hear that from you, because the audience likes to hear yay or nay on what Robin's doing. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good. Thank you for calling, and lots of luck to you tomorrow. All right, Rob. You want to tell her bye?
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye, Debbie. Okay, folks.
Bye-bye.
Wow, that was getting to be a little serious. I mean, not that the first caller wasn't serious, because certainly that gentleman had a significant situation going on with his stepson and stuff like that, and Robin's addressed it, I think, admirably. I mean, she's done the right thing with regard to giving them words of caution and putting second thoughts into both these situations to move forward in a positive way for their own success, as well as someone else that they love. Robin, anything else you want to tell us about? Let's see, I think we got a few more minutes before we shut it down. What about, we got 3 or 4 minutes.
I got something for you. I was in Chicago a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And I was doing my readings, my psychic readings in Chicago, my mediumship readings, and it went quite well. I read for a family, and I had a kind of a non-believer. I read for him personally, and
Good.
And I said, do you have something from one of your relatives who have passed? And he said, yes. And I go, there's a box on your dresser, but you don't have it in the box. You have it sitting next to the box. And he said, yes. And he became a believer.
Wow. Applaud to you. And Robin's touching on something very dear to our heart, because Robin is visiting New Orleans next February around Mardi Gras time, the 24th to the 28th. So she's already got one engagement where she's going to be doing a familial setting that she knows some of the people. But we are anxious to involve you, the audience. So we will be posting right now. It's just a matter of picking the day between the 24th and 28th without interfering with Mardi Gras per se. And finding a venue that would be comfortable. We're not looking for things with hundreds of people and thousands of people. We're looking for something that's small, more intimate. And if we find such, we will certainly be promoting it here on all of our channels once we define it. And we would hope that you would be able to join in, because if you've watched any of our shows, you see what a wonderful service on both ends, whether it's reading the tarot or, more importantly now, that she's doing the group sessions with regard to reaching out to someone that you would love to have said something to, or just really want to get an update on a loved one or a friend who's predeceased. So we'll keep you appraised of that as we put in the announcement if we are able to lock that in for during her visit. Anything else, Robin?
That's pretty much it. I'm going to be in Napa at the end of the month.
Did you say Nassau?
No, Napa.
Oh.
Napa, California.
That drab old place? Oh, who wants to go? Well, the important thing, the good advice in Napa is don't drink too much.
Yeah, I know, huh? And I'll be in San Francisco for the holiday.
Oh, good. Well, please tell your daughter and your son hello for me. Enjoy the Thanksgivings, because we won't talk to you till after that. And we'll see you soon. We thank you again for just illuminating the audience as well as all of us, okay?
Okay, great. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, dear. Take care. Okay, folks, next week, I think, I've forgotten what we were supposed to do, the nonprofit, or Chad, I'm confused. But I know we're dedicating a month to artists and filmmakers. Gotta go. See you soon.
Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network.